Hello, hello, hello! It is time for another weekly review of our camera work for Emmanuel Online. It is for June 29th. That is the Sunday that we are filming for. And as always, none of this is meant to be hurtful. None of this is meant to be mean. It's all meant to help and help us all get better together, and just improve our skills so that not only are we doing a better job for our church and our God, but we are learning to be better at something that we can take with us for the rest of our lives. So here we go. Let's take a look here. I'll pull up my notes. That is not my notes. That is the thing that I downloaded so I don't have to pretend that I am eyeballing the thirds well. So, all right, let's take a look here. Let's go to section A. We are in section A. Camera 2, 857. All right. So camera 2, Andy, we'll go right here. Andy should be on, Andy should be closer to this third here. Right now he's pushing here and he's looking this way. So there's a little bit of looking room that just isn't there. It feels a little bit extra tense. You can see down here we have Sarah Beth and we have Morgan. That's her name. They're both in the third and they have plenty of looking distance so it doesn't feel as tense there. So, let's take a look here at my new third grid. And Andy is exactly in the third over here. If he were facing the other way, this would be kind of where we want him. But it'd be better if he was... Nope, we're going to lock that. And... probably over here a little bit more, or even like straight down the middle of the body there maybe, and then and then just fill it in there. Or if you wanted to go, we could go closer and we could get down here, have his base kind of in that third there so we can see what he's doing on the base, that kind of thing. Okay. 953. All right. So I wrote down move Josh over to the left a little. And this one's pretty nitpicky. He's in the center. We want to moved over to the left just a little bit. You can see right here his body is kind of dead center, so we would want to move that. We would definitely, I would prefer if we moved him over just a little bit. That is incorrect. What are you doing to me, Premiere? There we go. So if we moved him over just a little bit more there, that'd be a little bit better of a composed shot, which would be great. I did end up using that shot, so it wasn't in like the worst shot ever. It's a good shot, but in order to make it a great shot, it'd be great if we could move him over there just a little bit more so we can see the third there. All right. 1256, and just for an FYI, this week was fantastic. There was a lot of great camera work this week. 1256. Oh yes, okay, I remember this shot. So we're gonna take a look. Let's watch camera 2 here. That's right here. So we're gonna move back a little bit. So watch this one right here. Oh, now I went back way too far. Okay. Okay. So watch this camera here. Okay, so that is a beautiful example of adjusting your shot on the fly, but doing so slowly. So let's take a look at this shot that we got of Sarah Beth here. I think I used that one right there. So yeah, so if you go just only by the rule of thirds for all this, she's in the center. But like, now I have to do it this way. The barrier moves to about right here. So then if we go here and then we shrink it up a bit, those thirds moved right there. And it just, I mean, you could even cheat it a little bit more to the right, just a little bit. So we say where the hair ends and the shoulder is about halfway. So then we're moving it over even more. And so she's like right in there. So I love the movement on this shot. This is definitely, this is camera 2, by the way. So I'm not just picking on camera 2. I am also praising camera 2 because I love this shot so much. It feels so good. You captured such a beautiful moment of her singing and enjoying what she's doing. Yeah, bravo. Fantastic job. And my favorite part is that you caught the moment and you tried to stay with it. You tried to stay with it, and just watch right here. You adjusted where you wanted to go. There was a slight jerky movement there, but I mean, I cut it before that, but you kept it wonderfully smooth as you were moving. And this is the advantage of having a monopod. You get to capture these kind of moments, and it feels organic, and it feels really, really good right there. So great job there. All right, so let's make sure that okay. I need to make sure that I don't save this project by accident after I made all these changes after these showings, after what I'm showing you guys. Otherwise, I'm gonna get a lot of feedback that says, "Hey, this looks bad." All right, service sections. Let's find section C. There's a little bit more that I wrote down for section C. And all right, so take a look here. I did end up using the shadow camera this week, just because it looked really good. So that's what we're doing. All right, so 831 is the first note I have. Way too far. 831, camera 2. All right. So, let's take a look here. We want Sarah Beth over just a little bit more, I think, because I think that's kind of where she stays for the majority of that shot. Yeah. So camera 2 is right here. Right here. So we want Sarah Beth to be moved over just even center would have been a little bit better here. I think I used that shot. There it is. All right, so she's looking this way, but let's we can see that the microphone is pointing this way and she's facing this way, so it might be better to split the difference and like move her even here and slightly to the left, just so it doesn't feel like It feels a little bit more composed. You might be trying frame within a frame, but frame within a frame works when it's in the foreground, not the background. And that's all I have to say about that. Let's move this over here so we can have that. All right. 9:45. I like the dance looking directly at the camera, right where I stopped it. All right, so move. Let's. This is a good shot. But Dan is facing this way, so if we could move him just. Oh no. Over here a little bit, like with all the drums in there. It almost makes sense to count that as a whole. So kind of have him have the drums and Dan be the whole piece and not just Dan. So move him just a little bit to the left in that third. So the drums as a whole is in the third there. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, because that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. 10:06. Camera 4. All right. So let's full disclosure, camera 4 was me. I was on the worship leader last night, and let's take a look at camera 4. What is wrong with this shot? She's in the wrong third. I did that wrong. I did end up fixing it later, I think. But so, especially from the angle that I was pointing at, I was kind of over here. So the microphone is pointing this way. So down and to the left. So I should have put her over here. At least a little bit closer to that way. We get, if you're unsure of which way they're facing, find a line of which way, find a line pointing some way. In this case, it would be the microphone, and that would dictate which direction he's facing. So, I mean, if we go too far over here, it feels a little bit empty. So maybe right around here, split the difference just a little bit, so it feels a little bit more, a little less, a little more looking room, but also not super uncomposed. Good job, Sam. You screwed up. All right, let's turn that off. All right, let's move to 10:28. Oh, yes, I love this shot. Camera 3. This is exactly the kind of close-up shot that we're looking for right here. We've seen Dan multiple times, and so now we can see up close what he's doing. And those are the moments that we get to create that if you were there, you don't necessarily get to see unless you're watching in the video. So those are the moments that are really great to have, because it's an experience that, yes, you could walk right up to Dan and watch him do that up close. But this is an opportunity that you wouldn't get in person either. So that's part of the allure of being able to video it. All right. 10:34. All right. Camera 2. All right, so Andy is facing this way. So I think I used that shot at one point. Maybe I didn't. All right. So let's take a look at this shot of Andy. He's kind of centered to the right, and he's facing this way. So, not to beat a dead horse, but we want to move him over at least this much, if not this much, and then Sarah Beth would be in the shot, and if Sarah Beth is in the shot, that third actually gets moved over this way a little bit more because she's almost a barrier. So, I mean, we don't have to go all the way over there with like that, but maybe just a little bit closer to the left there, so we can. So it feels a little bit more composed, and there's just enough looking room for him to not create tension. All right. And camera 4, that's me. 1140. All right, so this is me. I should have pulled. I should have zoomed back a little bit, and moved Morgan to the left a little bit here. So you can see right here, it's a little bit overdone on the third there. It's a little bit extreme. So what I should have done is panned out a little bit and moved her a little bit closer to something like that. And I'm not making excuses. I did a bad. I could have done better here. So, yes, that is my bad. Yes. Yes. The other thing is, we should pay attention to the slider cam. If we watch the slider cam the whole time, we can pull this out here and then do it this way. This is all, we'll put it all on slider cam here. Yeah, okay, we'll just do it this way. All right, so we might be over panning, so let's take a look here. Maybe go to about that far. It feels like we're overextending a little bit there. On the right side, yeah, because we're not panning the same amount on the opposite side here, so it feels uneven. And especially since Morgan is over here, there's nobody over here, but I would maybe pan a little bit more to the left and less on the right. Just so we can keep more people in more often. Because when we go here, we're missing almost half the band. But if we were to go just even right there and have a short stop, we'd get to the other people faster. We also should consider tightening the band up a little bit. I have an idea, but I'm going to run it past a few people before we do it. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys have gotten some out of this, and yeah, I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for being a part of our team, and love having you guys, love working with you guys. thanks for everyone that stepped in this week. It was a weird Tuesday night because there were a number of staple people missing. So, yes, great job, everybody. Thank you so much. It's an honor to work with all of you. Have a good one.